Less than 24 hours away. Much more on who's opting in and who's opting out. But first, we got a big trade with your squad.
Atlanta, the Hawks backcourt just got a serious upgrade as we have breaking news here on SportsCenter. The Spurs trading Dejounte Murray to the Hawks for Danilo Gallinari and 3 future first-round picks for our Adrian Wojnarowski. The 24-year-old was a late first-round pick in 2016. He had a breakout season with San Antonio last year. I'm scratching my head a little bit here because he was fantastic. The Hawks themselves, well, they get an upgrade because they've got another premier distributor. Take some of the load off of Trae Young. They've really been looking for a legitimate number 2. Dejounte Murray, one of 5 players to average 20 points per game, 8 assists per game last season, joining the likes of Luka Doncic, James Harden, and his new teammates in Atlanta. Certainly, we've seen his offense get better and better over the years, last year being his breakout season on that regard, but a great defender since he came into the league, as we officially welcome in our Adrian Wojnarowski. Just from the Hawks' perspective, what went into deciding to bring him in and pair him with Trae Young?
Yeah, this has been a Hawks organization, I think as much as any in the league, that was just determined that they were going to make changes, they were going to get better. They gave up a lot. 3 first-round picks, 2 of their own, one they have via Charlotte, and also a pick swap in 2026 with San Antonio. But Trae Young was really excited about getting Dejounte Murray in. And this is a group that, listen, they want to be improved. He'll improve them certainly on both sides of the ball. But Atlanta, listen, they're not done dealing yet. They still have been engaged on John Collins. And, I think fundamentally there's going to be some there are going to be some more changes in Atlanta. But they're pretty excited about the idea of Dejounte Murray joining Trae Young.
So on the other side, the Spurs lose a guy who averaged 21 and 9. You mentioned the picks. A couple of them are unconditional here in the first round. What's San Antonio trying to do?
Yeah, 11 picks now in the next 7 years. And they got 3 from Atlanta, 1 from Chicago, and 7 of their own. And they're in a full rebuild now in San Antonio. And they had 3 first-round picks this year. They've gone very young. They've got cap space. And listen, I think it was inevitable in San Antonio. And I think Dejounte Murray, being part of a rebuild like that, after coming off his first All-Star appearance, I think he's excited about a chance to go. But 3 first-round picks, that's a lot in any trade in the NBA, especially getting them unprotected. And this is certainly an organization with a history of drafting well. And listen, they are now in a full rebuild mode. And, Greg Popovich, the expectation is that he's going to return again. He really enjoyed coaching that young team last year. He likes this young group. And so, it's going to be a team that maybe among the youngest in the NBA.
Certainly for Atlanta, though, Dejounte Murray upgrades them and a bargain, right? $16.5 million salary next year, especially when you consider that there was $47 million out there on the table for one James Harden. The news today, he will be opting out of that contract to become a free agent. What does that mean for him and the Sixers? It
means that he can now negotiate a new deal with the Sixers. And by opting out and doing a new deal, he gives the Sixers a real opportunity to improve their roster. It allows them to use the $10.5 million mid-level exception, the $4 million biannual exception, and they can also get involved in some sign and trades. And I know in his conversations with the team, that was really important. How can we get this team better? How can we improve our supporting cast? And listen, I think James Harden, too, he can do a deal now going forward, certainly make back that $47 million and more, and they'll have an opportunity starting Thursday at 6 p.m. to negotiate a new deal. James Harden's going to be back in Philadelphia. It's just a question of what the contract looks like, and it may also now give them an opportunity to go out and do something they really want to do with this roster, and I think they saw it in the playoffs, make it tougher, make it more physical, mentally tougher, physically tougher, and they'll get that chance now.
The roster flexibility, they lost a couple of key parts in the Ben Simmons trade going to New Jersey with Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. We'll see how that plays out, of course, moving forward with the Sixers and Daryl Morey. Woj is still here, and Woj is still breaking news. Other headlines making news today on a Wednesday. How about in the NBA? Woj reporting the Wizards have a deal to acquire Nuggets guard Will Barton and Monte Morris for guards Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Ish Smith. Barton averaged almost 15 points per game. KCP 13 at Wimbledon.
I'm pumped. Oh, come on! Get up!
Pretty cool. That was just over 3 years ago. July 24, 2019, Clippers owner Steve Ballmer was excited about what this era was going to bring. Here's a sneak peek. The pinnacle was a Western Conference Finals appearance in 2021. So needless to say, we haven't seen the full potential of Kawhi and PG in their particular era in Los Angeles. This might come as a surprise, though, to all of you. Ballmer, clearly pretty excited about a healthy Kawhi Leonard next season.
Come on, man. Not only your best player, but one of the preeminent handful of top players in the world. I'm really excited about that. And, Kawhi's in the gym, he's working, and we got our fingers crossed. Everything keeps going on schedule.
How much are you dying just to see this team healthy for not just a full season, but the entire postseason, too? Because you really kind of haven't had a chance to see that.
I think we stay healthy next year. We're going to be having a chance to talk way late into the spring season. How's that?
Shout out to Young Masuk, who was asking those questions and might have taken the video, too. So Ballmer's clearly excited, and the Clippers owner has confidence going into next season, Matt, about what they can do. And you're a former Clipper, Matt, so I want you to rank your top 5 title favorites for next season. 5-1, please. We've got some of the contenders here below.
George, with my first pick, Stephen A. and some others might tell me to stay off the weed, but I'm going to go with the Nets. I mean, wouldn't this just be a crazy story after all they've been through? For them to come through and put everything behind them and win a championship, that would be a crazy story. My 4th team is
the Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Giannis.
Giannis is still there. They still got their core there. Obviously couldn't overcome the loss of Middleton in the playoffs this past season, but really like what they're doing. My 3rd pick, and I'm really worried if this team ever wins a championship because of their owner. I don't know if he'll be able to handle it. You just see how excited he gets to talk about a healthy Kawhi. If they win a championship, we need to find the blood pressure. My 2nd team.
Okay.
The Boston Celtics.
Eastern Conference defending champions.
I think more than anything, I love what Marcus Smart brings to that team like we just spoke on, and I think this was just a huge learning experience for this team. Their first time really getting their feet wet. They'll learn from this. And my back-to-back champion will be none other than the team from the Bay Area.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I'm going to bring these all down real quick because I'm going to give you mine real quick. I'm going to give you mine. Hold on. Let's get these out of here real quick. All right. Giannis, you come down here for a second, and Kyrie and KD, you come down here.
Floor is yours.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to go with number 5 here as well. I'm going to go with the Miami Heat. I felt like they were literally inches away from going to the NBA Finals last year. Now,
from there?
What's that?
Are you from there?
I am from there. I am from there. But last I checked, they've been to a finals, and they were, again, inches away to being to a finals with a team that was completely banged up. So I'm going to at least put them in my top 5 right now. I would have put Brooklyn too, Matt. I'm just not. I got to see what everything looks like before it all settles, you know. So we'll do that. And then number 4, I'm going to go the Boston Celtics over here. I'm going to do the Boston Celtics at number 4. Now, look, I agree with you. They're fantastic. Tatum and Brown will only get better. But I feel like this team got past Milwaukee only because, in my opinion, because Chris Middleton was not available. So I'm going to go Milwaukee as number 3. So I think we're close on that one. I got the Bucks there. Giannis is the best player in the sport right now, in my opinion. And I just think that particular team, the way it's built, the chemistry they have with their best 3 players is second to none for the most part outside of some of the teams I have ahead of them. Now, number 2. I'm going to go with the LA Clippers. Shout out to Marcellus Wiley. Clip City, Chip City. There you go. But now, I thought about putting them number 1, Matt. Because if they're healthy, I think they may be the team to beat. But I can't knock what the Warriors just did. And I can't knock the fact that they've got young guys getting ready, and they're going to be ready to roll. Moses Moody, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga. I'm big on those guys' future to kind of extend this particular dynasty for the Warriors. So right now, it's fluid, but these are my 5 right here. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, obviously, this team will be in contention if everything goes as planned. And everyone's going to say, man, you say this every single year about the Clippers, but I think this may be the year that this team, like we said, is healthy and can gel like they've been gelling. They're going to be a problem.
They're the deepest team right now.
Hands down.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, look, I might have buried the lead here, but here's the deal. Happy birthday. Yeah. Shout out Kawhi Leonard, 31st birthday. And let's get to the top of the top as you see a little birthday cake. We got one for you, Claw. Hey, we got a little birthday cake for you.
Most interesting man in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard.
He's a fun guy. Okay. All right, let's get to top of the top. First up, age 23, back in 2015 with the Spurs, Watch the move here Kawhi puts on our guy, J.J. Redick. Sorry, J.J.
Look out, Bubs.
Oh, no.